We are live. Welcome everybody to the greatest show where I get to show up the greatest people and have way too much fun doing it. Today I am so grateful, so lucky to have my dear friend Julie O Perkins on with me. Hi Julie.
Hi
Cassie. Thank you. Yay! Thank you so much for being here. Where to begin? So Julie, you and I, one thing that I love about you and that our conversations and our engagements have been about the earth.
Yes.
Possibilities with the earth, communion with the earth, conversations with the earth. And you have kind of a unique way of being with the earth and just how much you kind of include it and speak with it in your life. I was wondering if we could start there. Could you share a little bit with the people?
Yes, about how I am with the earth.
Yeah.
One of my best friends.
Yes. Best friends. Beautiful. Exactly.
That's the way that I actually treat it. Like it's part of my family. It's one of my best friends.
Wow.
I treat it with utmost respect. I take care of it. It takes care of me. There's a reciprocity. And it really is a feeling of like family to me. That's how I have a relationship and I nurture it in that way.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
That's such a different way to look at, because I think what I notice is a lot of people, they don't really notice the earth that they're walking on every day or often they go into this place of like, oh my goodness, I need to take care of it. It's they go to the devastation and the caretaker of it rather than that contribution.
Yes.
Like when you said, so include it as a family member, but also that you get to receive from it as being a family member.
Exactly. There is that kind of reciprocity. We are gifting and receiving all the time. And when I say take care of it, it's not really like, trying to save it or rescue it or protect it. It's like having its back, and then it would have mine. So, I mean, really that kind of like saving, rescuing thing is really assuming, it's based on the assumption that it needs that it doesn't have that it requires that. And really all it requires is energy to do what it needs to do. Just like we require energy to do what we need to do. So it's that kind of energy exchange that really is required, and so in Access we call it gifting and receiving, and other people might call it relationship, other people might call it communion, whatever it looks like for somebody, as long as that it's generative and it's creating something and it's not disharmonious or unbalanced. Then it's really something amazing.
Oh, that is so beautiful. Even now I sense my body like having a deeper conversation as we're talking about this with the earth. So how cool is that? So can you share, you said you sometimes you talked about contributing energy. What are some of the ways that you include that in your daily life?
Yeah. So I ensure that every day I connect with the earth, and how that looks like can be different on any given day. One day I might be watering the flowers outside or the houseplants inside. So the things that are of the earth, that kind of grow up from it. Another day I might be actually just going and sitting amongst trees. So just to sit with the trees and knowing that they have a unique relationship with the earth, you know, with their roots going down into the soil, right? And being a total part of that. I mean, there's no denying that you can just look at that and you can see that. And there's many fabulous species of trees all around the world. You know, many of them, like I think of my favorite ones, the aspen tree, where they grow down and then they grow from sprouting roots up. So huge aspen groves, clones, you know, like whole families of trees, of which there's 1,000-year-old aspen grove in Utah in the United States, because that's how resilient it is. And even if there were a fire, the roots are underground and it can still sprout up. So it's that kind of miraculous and magical stories about the earth that I also try to connect with. So I'm always looking for a good earth story, you know, and something will show up in the news. And that's how I make it a part of my day too. I was like, oh, wow, cool, look at that, you know. Something about a tree, something about the ocean, something about the fish. And we've had a lot of changes with the earth recently. So very cool, very, very cool.
Thank you. And you actually answered my other question, was that, okay, so how do you, so maybe you have your local part of the earth, right?
Yeah, right.
And what are some ways to connect with other, like the whole planet, so, and you already answered it. So having like reading these earth stories, having an awareness of what's going on, having these earth conversations and discovering, for me, I have like a personal target to have my feet on every magical place of the earth, which is all over the earth.
True. It is true. There's magic everywhere.
Yeah.
And that's actually a really good way to do it too, is to actually, I remember a time when I was going on my cancer journey and I was about to go to chemotherapy and I felt very unbalanced, had a lot of emotion about that. My body was in a physical state. And I looked at my husband and he said to me, you need to go talk to that tree. And so I went like walking over to this tree and I ripped off my shoes and socks and I was just wiggling my toes in the grass, you know, and then just talking to the tree and feeling that connection with the earth, because our bodies are the same things that are found in the earth. A lot of water, minerals, oxygen. So, you know, there's a lot of prevailing beliefs that our bodies are of the earth and then they will return to the earth. So when people think this is a hard thing to do, I like to show them that it's actually very innate in you. It's built in. It's not like you got to go buy it and train on it and learn it and figure it all out. You just are that.
Wow.
And I just help them remember that. Just remember that.
Remember that. Yeah.
Just remember that. That's what you are.
Oh, I love this. I love this so much. Okay, so can you share? So you talked a bit about even your cancer journey, and it brings up the energy for me of like healing.
Yes.
So the earth healing, our bodies healing, our beings healing. What, and I almost want to say untapped, because I know some people are tapping on it, but there's an untapped contribution here.
Yeah. With
healing and bodies. Would you speak a little bit to that, of what are you aware of that we could be choosing? What are you aware of that's possible with this?
Yeah. One of the first things that I'm always aware of is how much we don't gift to the earth. Okay. That's happening a lot more now. People have a lot more awareness about the earth because they see it changing and they see that it can, things like pollution and loss of wildlife in areas where they had been there are now returning. So they see that it can change. And so it's up in their awareness and they're willing to be more present with that. But I think that if they remember that they can always gift to the earth, no matter what, I think we feel in general that we have to be in this great space. Like, I'm going to go take a walk in nature, and I'm going to commune with nature, and I'm going to be great with it, because I don't want to bring this stuff about my boss and this really ugly stuff, and I couldn't pay the rent this month, and like, I'm just going to let all that go, and I'm not going to take any of that with me because I don't want to burden the earth with it. Well, that's actually not the earth's point of view. The earth doesn't have a point of view. It doesn't have a point of view about energy as being good or bad or right or wrong. It just requires energy to do what it needs to do. If it needs to quake, it needs to quake, and that requires energy. If it needs to burn a little bit, it needs to burn. Yes, and it requires that, yes. And I get that a lot of people have points of view about that. And the nature of the earth is that it's always been changing. So it requires energy to do what it needs to do. And that means any kind of energy. So if there's something that is with you, if you had a bag of smelly trash, you keep like leaving that here, sitting on your desk all day, you know? Or would you take it out somewhere, you know? And it's the same thing with that kind of energy. If this is sort of stinking you up, this energy, you can actually gift it to the earth, and the earth will take that and use that. So, and that's healing for you, because you are taking something that is sticking you, that is stinking you up, messing up your space, and you are given to the earth, which will transmute it and recycle it. Yeah. And take that, it's like magic.
Yeah.
It truly is, you know? It's just like, so I think that's the one thing that people forget about the earth, is that you don't have to be ready or in the right frame of mind or be giving good stuff. You don't have to do a 15-step ceremony. What is required is that you show up and that you be with the earth and that you gift. Okay. Now, the other part of that is that in order to really make that the best exchange, you need to receive.
Oh, that.
Not just like, pack of trash, go, you know, like, and I know you'll do your thing, earth, you know, thanks, bye. Actually, no, it's like, hey, you know, hang around, have the conversation, receive. So there are many healing stories of people who have had what have been life-threatening illnesses or considered terminal, who have spent time in nature, communing in nature, lying in the grass for hours on end, and gifting and receiving and feeling that thrum and feeling that vibration. And actually the earth does have a vibration. Its heartbeat is in that 7.8 hertz. Okay, and you can get there too. It's an alpha wave. It induces relaxation in your body. And that's the best thing I like about connecting with the earth, is that my body gets free of whatever might be burdening it or pinging it or creating dis-ease in my body.
Wow.
So connect, can become that same vibration, and have fun.
Well, and how much dis-ease would we not create in our body if we were actively choosing this as a daily thing, like talking to your family member, you know, like I know right now in the world, a lot of people are having mental health issues. They're having stress, they're having anxiety, they're feeling trapped, they're feeling very alone.
Yeah.
And one thing I do, especially if I'm stressed, is I just go for I have a creek. I'm so lucky I have a creek like right 10 minutes out here. I go for a walk. I just be with my creek, and I don't have to, like you were saying, I'm not practicing something. I'm not like, if I breathe this way, or if I walk this way, or if I do this particular thing. And I'm not saying that you can't do that. You might have something that really works for you, but just being being present with the earth starts to dissipate all that so that I'm not holding it in my body and compounding it so that it starts to create that dis-ease and perhaps disease.
Yeah, totally. Totally. Yeah. That's exactly the space that can get created just by going for a walk.
Yeah.
So being up here, it's being in here in your body, which is like part of the earth, you know? So,
yeah.
And yes, your head's part of your body, but I'm talking about that space of the monkey mind, the no, gotta do the dishes, gotta pay the rent, gotta do this for my boss, gotta, you know, like that stuff. It's like,
yeah, it's like open and pour it out into the earth. You just dump it and then
go. I mean, you don't hear the squirrels doing that, you know, like you don't hear the birds doing that. They're doing their thing that they do on their normal day, which is being.
Yeah. So I would love to talk a little bit about the difference of, you know, I'm going to walk from here to there. Okay, I have my creek run. Okay, I'm going to walk it and I'll walk back.
Yeah.
And then being present with the earth. You said this a few times throughout, like being with the earth, being present, and you're like not up here, but like whole body.
Yeah.
Can you speak a little bit to that for you? What are you aware of, and what's maybe some good starting steps for people on increasing this presence with the earth and with their body?
Yeah. So I would start with your feet.
Okay.
And so if you can go barefoot, go outside and place your feet on the ground and feel every muscle in your foot as you roll forward and take a step. And then you do another one. Like that sort of rolling of your feet.
Yeah.
Where you can feel every part of your foot, the heel, the outside, the ball of your foot, your toes, and the pushing off of your toes. And if you have to go slow to do that, go slow. But ask for every cell in your foot to like light up and to be present and to feel the step and feel that connection. So that's one way.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
Another way, my favorite way, is just to go lay in the grass. Like,
yeah.
Like, you know how people make snow angels? Like it's
yeah. And I love involving the senses. I mean, because that's really involving the body. So like you were saying, like as you step, you're feeling it.
Yeah.
You know, when I'm in nature, I'll try and breathe and notice like and actually pay attention to the smells of the earth, the smells of the flowers. Like, what do I see? What do I hear? And like really being present with my body's senses in regards to the earth. Yeah. For me, creates some presence and some conversation going on.
Exactly. And so, you know, and how I know that it's working is that you can also then ask to get some signs, like connecting with you. So, you know, there've been a multitude of stories, but I was trying to make a decision on whether I should take a trip or not once. And I was out in my backyard and the moon was almost full. And I was like, I had my feet in the grass, wiggling my toes. And I said, okay, I get this. And I just can't figure this out with my head. Yeah. So Earth, can you help me figure this out? This is a class that is actually going to be about the earth. And, you know, I really would love your input on this. Can you please tell me? And I asked the question, should I make this trip, this international trip? And so at the time we were living on open space. And that moment that I ended the question, a coyote started yipping and crying loudly, so loudly. My husband came out to make sure that the coyote wasn't in the yard with me. It was like loud and that close. And he just came quietly out. He's like, everything okay? And I'm like, yep. I'm just getting an answer. I asked a question. I was getting an answer here. And, you know, sure, that things like that happen all the time. When I do ceremony or when I am the recipient of a healing, often it will rain. Nice, soft, gentle, sheeting straight down. You can actually see the lines and the droplets of the rain. So that kind of confirmation is really the other side of the conversation. And all that stuff is happening. The gentle breeze, all of a sudden, you know, smell of roses might come by. You know, animal sounds, you know, maybe not the neighbor's dog, but maybe like something else, like a coyote. Yeah.
So really paying attention to those communications and acknowledging them, because my next question, you're so brilliant. You're answering my question before again. So my next question was kind of along those lines of either starting that communication with the earth or expanding it, and instituting this in our lives where we're paying attention to these communications. We're acknowledging them as communications, because a lot of people would, you know, put it off to something else, but actually acknowledging, whoa, is this the earth communicating with me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. And then asking for more of that to show up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
what are you
open to receiving that? Like with a curious child's mind. Right? Did you ever see a kid take a walk?
No.
Like a kid, you know, like we're walking around the path on the lake, right? You know, and if we were just doing that, we could probably lap a kid like 2-3 times, right? Yeah. Because the kid will stop and explore everything.
Yeah.
They'll squat down and look at the worm in the earth, you know. Yeah. They'll smell the flower. They'll look at the bumblebee going into the center of a flower and coming out with all of that golden, like, buzz on it, you know, and the pollen that it's carrying and doing its thing, right? So if you can be in that space, like so curious, like what's one of your favorite things in nature that you like to observe? You know, everybody's got one. Some people like trees. I happen to like trees. Some people like stones. Some people like feathers.
Yeah.
You know, things like that, right? But start there with the things that you really, really like. Do that.
I love it. I love it. There's so many delicious bits in here for everyone, and just kind of to include the earth as, I like it, like you said, a family member or whatever that is for someone, a best friend, a co-creator, you know, a playmate, and have that conversation. And what I sense is the more we're willing to have this and acknowledge it, because as we know, and I know that you know, we've talked about this, like as the earth is always communicating to us, and we can either choose to ignore it or we can actually choose to acknowledge it. And we've all probably had that moment where we've been acknowledged personally for something that we've said, and it is so expansive to be acknowledged for your communication. So acknowledging the earth and its communication and including these things, to me, is part of that possibility that we have here with the earth.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, okay, we're wrapping up here, Julie, but I did want to open the floor here for you. Is there anything else that you would just love to say about this or share, or any awarenesses that you have percolating that you'd want to gift?
I would say that if anyone is doubting that they can have this kind of generative, playful, expansive relationship or communion with the earth, I would invite them to put that in the stinky trash bag.
Oh, that bag again.
And take it out somewhere. You know, just go spend some time in nature. And so really please stop doubting. that you don't have already a relationship. That's what I would say.
Oh, I love it. I love it so much. I love you so much. You're such a gift. If you are more curious about Julie O, if you would like her in your life, she does classes, she does sessions, she does a whole kinds of things, all kinds of things, and new things coming out like on the horizon. So yeah, please check out in the description. We have links to her. Please go find out more, engage with her, and see what's possible for all of us as we have these conversations with the earth, and we just invite something different that we haven't already had with this planet. We've had a lot of good things and we've had a lot of bad things, and not from judgment, just like, wow, that, maybe wasn't the greatest choice. And what if there's something even greater than the greatest we've ever had?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. Are you ready to play our game?
I am.
Me too. Okay, I'm going to explain it.
Okay.
So this game is called Yes or No. Here's how the game works. We have each collected, Julie and I, 2 earthly objects, and we're going to take turns being blindfolded, and we're going to ask questions to guess. So I will be blindfolded, and I'll ask Julie questions to guess what and you guys all get to see it, and I don't get to see it. And so I can only ask yes or no questions. And we're going to have a timer because sometimes, this could take forever. So we'll have a timer. So we can speed ourselves up. Okay?
Okay, good.
Awesome. All right. And you know what? I forgot my blindfold. 1 second.
I have more than 2 things. So I have to pick just 2. Did you hear what I said?
It wasn't far.
I said I have more than 2 things, but I have to pick 2.
You have to pick.
It's time. It's crunch time. I gotta pick 2.
Pick 2. Pick 2 while I wrap my blindfold. I'm gonna have to go this way. All right.
All right. So it was 2 earthly things.
Yeah. So start with 1. And then you have so I'll have a round, then you have a round, then I'll have a round, then you have a round.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, I'm excited. Oh, it's so weird being blindfolded on a live show. How does my hair look? I don't even know. All right.
Okay, are we ready?
Okay, yes. So present it to the audience. I can't see, guys. Okay. Okay, so yes or no questions. Is it soft?
No.
Does it have a scent?
No.
Okay.
Smell it.
Is it, there's something really giggly about being blindfolded. I don't know. Is it, I'm like that child. I'm like,
there you go. Be curious. Yes.
Okay. So is it a rock?
It is yes of the rock.
Of the rock. Is it a stone? Is it a crystal?
Not a crystal. No.
Is it a stone? Is it a rune?
Not a rune.
Is it
it's stone-like.
Stone-like. Is it a gem?
Not a gem.
Is it?
Think old. Can I give you a hint?
Yes. You can, because I forgot to put a timer on. Think old. Okay, it's old and it's stone-like. It's like a. Is it like a soapstone? No.
Not soapstone.
No.
Think like a kid.
Think like a kid. And it's old and it's rock-like, but it's not a rock. Oh man. I think I'm gonna have to myself. What is it?
So it is a fossil.
It's think like a kid. It's beautiful. Wow.
And this is actually made into a necklace.
Oh, cool.
It's called a brachipod. which is like a prehistoric mollusk or kind of like a clam. And they are still can be found. They're rare, but they can still be found around the Great Lakes.
Wow.
And my mom used to collect them as a kid on the Great Lakes. And we call them butterfly stones in our family.
Because it looks like a butterfly.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
It's called a brachipod.
It's so cool.
Yeah. Ooh, sorry.
Oh, your nails look great too. But it's so cool. Squirrel.
Squirrel.
Oh, that's so neat.
Yeah, isn't that awesome?
Wow. Very cool. Oh my gosh.
I was sort of blocking you. I was like, don't guess. Next time I will be like telling you what it is in my head and see if you can get it.
I was trying to pull it from your head and I couldn't. So now I know.
All right, that was cheating. Cheating. That's cheating on my part. I won't do that next time.
Okay, you blindfold. Your turn.
All right. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
I got the weird.
Nice. The broad blindfold. I was gonna get something like that, but I couldn't find it. All right, I'm gonna show my people. Well, guys, which one should I pick?
I know, right?
I have this. I'm going with this one. Okay. I'm gonna start the timer. Go.
Is it soft?
Yes.
Soft. Okay. Does it smell?
Kind of, sort of, not really.
Kind of, sort of, not really. Does not have a scent. Okay, cool. Soft. Is it a vegetable?
Nope.
Is it an animal?
No.
Mineral. Vegetable, animal, mineral.
No.
All right. Soft, of the earth. I'm trying to pick your brain. You're good at this, so you're like not letting me in there either. Does it grow?
Yes.
Does it grow all year round?
Yes.
Is it a tree of sorts?
Oh, timer went.
I think maybe a leaf. I was going kind of leafy. Oh, it's a plant. Yeah.
I feel like you get a point because that was pretty. Yeah, I mean,
I was on the trail.
You were on the trail.
I was like,
it's my little succulent. It's saying hi.
it's beautiful. And it's smiling.
It is. I know. It has a face.
Yeah,
so
there you go. That's awesome.
Awesome. Okay, your turn again.
I got a couple things I can.
I made the audience vote, even though I can't see what they voted. I just went on what I sensed was happening. If I do this, I can peek. But I'm not. I'm not going to. Oh, but I have to peek for 1 second so I can set the timer. Don't show yet.
Don't show yet? Good, because I'm changing my mind.
Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah, ready.
3, 2, 1. Okay. All right. Okay. Is it hard?
No.
Is it pink?
No.
Would it be nice to eat?
No.
Okay. Is it Okay, so it's if it's not hard, it's soft. It's not good to eat. It's not pink. I don't know why I thought pink. Is it Sid?
No, I did consider that. Sid is our cat. I had to walk him out of here because he would have been walking across the screen. He loves Cassy, so.
It's true. And we don't want to eat Sid.
Yeah.
Oh, timer!
All right, wait, don't. Let me give you a hint.
Okay.
Stay right here. Stay present here, Cassy. Don't fly away.
Don't fly. It's a butterfly.
A butterfly, not quite, but I thought you were going to say feather. You started to say F, and I was like, feather, feather, feather.
Oh, pretty. Oh, I love them.
Yeah, so one of the things I always find on my walks, there's some really cool looking feathers. So
yeah. Oh, I love feathers. And it's so interesting, the energy that I perceive from different feathers. And it could be the same type, but from a different bird. And you're just like, oh, I love it.
There's some protected birds who it's like not legal to have their feathers.
Oh.
So that people won't actually
go in
after them, do that. But I like to think it's because they have some cool magical powers too.
Yes. Me too. Okay, last one. Let's do this.
Let's do this.
Okay. Okay, starting my timer. It's ready.
Oh, does it taste good?
I think so.
Oh, something tasty. Is it a? I keep wanting to ask about vegetable. Is it a vegetable?
Yes.
It is a vegetable. Is it orange?
No.
Is it? I gotta go through all the colors. Is it green?
Yes.
Is it sweet?
No.
Is it crunchy?
Yes.
Celery?
Yes.
Is it celery? Yes.
It's a little limpy. I actually was sitting in water for the show. I'm like, you gotta perform tonight. You can't be limpy. Well, thank you, Julie. That was too much fun.
Thank you, Cassy. I'm always up for talking to you about anything, especially the earth. And thank you for inviting me here.
Thank you for being here, and thank you everyone for tuning in. Please, if you want more of Julie O, check out again the description. Play with her, engage with her, and we'll see you next Thursday on the next greatest show. Bye for now.
Bye.